Good afternoon. I've been doing a lot of videos lately um, with silence. A lot of videos with silence. And one of the videos that I have done, I was using the numbers 55. Okay. And where did number 55 come from? Number 55 comes from a half-life. The center of 1 and 6 is 3.5. The center of 2 and 5 is 3.5. The center of 3 and 4, is 3.5. But the separation is zero point 0.5. The separation is 2.5, and the separation is 1.5. Number 51 is Mars. Number 25 is Earth. Zero point 0.5, I like to call it 0.5, and I like to call that the energy, or the halfway, and the split energy. Let's call that, you want to call it the void, or do you want to call it the Q? Another thing is I like to use, let's go to Russia and how they use their vocabulary, their letters. And you can see in Russia letters like this, letters like this. So I tend to think, well, what can this be used for? How can we use this? Do you see this? We have one tower going this way and one tower going that way. We have our W and we have the V. The V is connecting here and the W is creating this. What does it mean? I don't know yet. The open sea shows us, just going to drag this all the way over here. The open sea shows us the interior, right? This will show me the G, right? If you want to look at it that way, the G upside down, or the E, if you want to look at it, G and E. G and E sort of looking like the same letter. Here's your Q and here's your void. This in French they would call aigu and grave. What does that mean, right? And here you have the circumflex. What does all this mean? There's a meaning to it, and I'd have to go through languages. And there's a game called in roulette, in craps. They go, yo, 11, mean they want to get 11, right? 11. The thing is, it's not 11 as 11 is. It's 6 and 5 is the only way to get 11. And the reverse of the dice is 1 and 2. This equals to 11. This equals to 3. And if you're playing pool, they're both the red ball. And 2 over here, I'm not sure. 12, 9 and 5. No, that's not the word, but there's a word, number 23. I'm not going to get to number 23 right now. Where can I take this to the next level? Yo is the 15th letter for the letter O, and the 25th letter for the letter Y, saying Earth and Mars, 7 and 6. Now, if you want to go to different games where we can find numbers 7 and 6, if you want to go to the cube and find that the 1 is opposite of the 6 and is the only one that reflects, if I would beam a light on it, you'd be able to see only this one, and there'd be only 2 voids on this. You can turn the dice sideways and it would complete. It would be 6, and then you turn the dice and it becomes 6 again. There's 2 ways to look at this. We measure the corners. That's why I like to call 6 the half-life, because there it is, half-life, or the mirror of above and below. That's your star system. There's 2 star systems. There's one this way and there's one this way. One is used at pharmacies, and the other one is used as the star key on your telephone. But in any indication, this will show you 6 and 1 in the center connecting 7. This will show you 6 and 1 connecting 7. 77 is the Christ. If you want to go to God, they say do it this way, and that would equal to 11. If you want to do it with the O, then add 15. So now you're adding Mars, or the 1/4 life. 1/4 life of time, and I'm going quick because 15 seconds is 15 seconds of 60 seconds, or you can call that the intermission time. In hockey, on ice, 15 minutes is the intermission. And different games will tell me different stories. At the same time, this in God will be number 26. The other thing I wanted to speak about is, I don't have my book right here. There's a new movie coming out, and it's called this over here. Tenet, or is it Tenant? And this is Rotas. rotus, sator, and this is opera, and this is opera. And what's funny about this is the numeric count here is 9 and 6, 15, 16, 17, 18 is 19, 28, 19, 28, 19. The numeric number over here is 9 and 6 is 15, and 15 is 30, and 5, it becomes 35. 9 and 7, 16 and 16, 32, and 5, 37. Did I get that right? 9 and 7 is 16, 9 and 7 is 16, 32, and 5, 37. So 3 and 7, 10, 1 and 9, 10, 2 and 8, 10. The red sun, the cube of the red sun, and that would be 21 and 10 equaling to 31 AC. 31, 13, 31 equals 75. 13, 31, 13 equals 57. Now if you go down to the when you go down to the roulette, you get orphalin and orphalin. If you put orphalin on the computer, it'll tell you orphan children. 1776, 8, 7, and 6 equaling to 21 the cube. 254, 254, 524, 254. I forget what that number represents other than the birth in the sun. This is your DNA. This is your AC/DC. This is your location of your one spirit. 15 and 9, 24, and 51. Mars, cat. 1524, no 3 in creation. The 3, where does the 3 come out? The total here is 75. The total here is 57. 5 and 7, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 5 and 7, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. This is what the roulette wheel shows us. There's a lot more that goes on in here. We're not going to talk about it right now because I have to splice my mind together. At the same time, we can see this. The roulette wheel has been torn apart. Remember, no one can really read or write in the early days, right? 100 years ago, they were burning books, thousands of years burning books, rewriting books, and only a few percentage of the populations can read. Gold, phi, snile. I'm just trying to see if there's another word. Tier means 1/3, or tier, one part of the board. Okay, or tie R, or I'm just going through. This says neighbors, and anytime I see O and R together, right, I always think of it as 10. Neighbor sins of 0. So we're going to get back to this over here. 77 is Christ. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. So when I get back to this over here, the center, right, this 2, 5, 5, 5, 2, 2, 5, 5, 2. So if you look at this, okay, 5, 5, 5 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6, right? 1 and 5 is 6, so you'll end up with 25,625, and that's a Mayan short count. 41 times 625. 25 times 25 are Earth times 41, which is your sun birth DNA, because the letter is AD. The 14th letter is the N letter. The first letter is the A letter, and the fourth letter is D, saying DNA. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals to 54. So when you want to get the plus, you follow how your measurements go. You want to get the multiply, you follow how your measurements go. Now the thing is with this multiplication is because of the size, we only want to draw on the lines so we can create a full star. But in reality, this is the one way to do this, obligation, but we cannot do that with a plus sign unless I create an X here and an X here to draw the line to find the true center. And then I'd have to draw an X here and draw an X here to find the true center. And then this is going to tell me, here's my tic-tac-toe, and it's going to tell me another story. I can make up one right now, but I'm not really sure what to talk about, and I'd rather discuss it with you. So when we calculate this, 25, 5, 5, 5 is 15, 1 and 5 is 6, 25, 6, 25, talking about this line. I'm not really sure where to go with this whole scenario. 7, 7, 7, 7. So instead of doing what I did before, I'm going to go 7, 5, 7, 7, 5, 7. And then when we go to orphelin, I get 57, 75. I get 77 with Christ. I get the moon at number 57. 31, 13, 31. Creation, alternate creation. Creating the cube, creating 10. What is 10? 10 on a cube is 5 and 5. The reverse is 22. Or 6 and 4. And the reverse is 13. 7 and 7. And then we'll do this connection together here, or I'll do this, where what numbers was that? 1 and 4 will come together, and then 3 and 6 will come together. And then we'll get back to 41. So there's a whole bunch of manipulation. What does it mean? Things to be discussed. I do know that the 3.5 center connected to this will create 1 and 1, which you saw in my last video. 7 and 3, 10, 5 and 5, 10. So 1 and 1 in a cube. The reverse of this is 66. The woman, the freedom, and the COVID. 66, okay, in the game of craps, okay, gives you the odds of 30 to 1, and it's a one-time roll. 30 to 1 is creation. And where do you see 30 to 1? Here is your 4 dice. There are 4 months of 30 days. 30 to 1. Here's your 4 corners. What does it mean? Let's not get into that right now. And there's a value of 0. What is the value of 0? When you have the 1 dot in the dice, there are 8 remaining numbers around. There are 8 remaining numbers around. So you can say, because I can create that 0 through 8, when you go over to the gematria, when you go over to gematria, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There is no 8. 8 shows up over here at 6. We end up with 66. We end up with 55. So when you create this ace belt, you have to put this line over here at number 55. When you put this line at number 55, you condone the 66 because it gives you that block. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. Then you have 5 and 5 equals 10, and 6 and 6 equals 12, and 7, the total is 29. The 14 DNA equals 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 5 and 4. 5 by 4 is 20. 5 plus 4 is 9. 29 minus it equals to 11. This is birth. It happens 1 of every 4 years. In February, you get 29 days. Otherwise, it's 28 days. And what's funny is we run by the moon cycle. The moon cycle. We run by the moon cycle. And how do we get to the moon cycle? This is my energy of creation. Why 1 and 2? We have 1 between 2. If we want to look, we have the deck of cards. This is a mirror because this image in the deck of cards will be upside down to this image. There's a lot of things to go over, and I talk really quick. What is 47? T-I-M-E. Time equals 47. Jesus equals 47. Cross, 74. And when you multiply that, and it comes from 75 or 57, as in 5775 right over here, from 1776. And what I'm trying to get to is everything follows numbers. I'd say, like I said, is here's the 6. But this is the half-life. Unless I turn it on this angle, it starts to create a different scenario that I'm not going to get into right now because I have to think of what I want to say, and everything has to be discussed. And if you notice, there's voids here, there's a void here, and the void here. So now are we talking about the tie, the 3-dotted tie? You see the way I put these? See the way it's over here voided, but I have actually, in order to create this image, I have to put it on this side. So the levels, there's 1 level over here, 2 levels over here, 3 levels over here, 4 levels over here. And then there's the in-between of 3 levels, 4 and 3 levels. And then 4 and 3 equals to the word 1. How about Neo Anderson? See the DNA, Anderson? Backwards it goes nos. In French it means hour. Instead of saying A and D, you can go DNA. And you can also, instead of saying their sun, you can go red. How about saying our DNA from the red sun? Neo, okay, neo-Nazi, neo this, can actually be one DNA from our red sun creates our sun. So there's a whole lot of things to get into and talk about through games, whether it's the casino game of craps, whether it's blackjack, where blackjack, the dealer pulls Q and stops on 21. The reverse of 21 is when they have a student. Why a student? Because in the game of craps, they're always screaming out élève. Élève, okay, is short for student. It's also short for the word 11, 6 and 5. So 6 by 5 is 30. 6 plus 5, 11. 6 times 5, 6 plus 5, equals to a 41 and 19. 41 is again back to the birth. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4, 5 and 4, birth in the sun. And 19 is the spirit. It gets flipped over to 61 and you have the word church and the half-life. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6. Number 13, and then we're getting back to the 13, which is you're going to be your spirit in the moon. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 3 and 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 plus 4, 3 plus 4 is 7. 3 times 4 is 12, equaling back to 19 again. Am I mixing you up? Now, do you remember this 31? Everything is more than one. We're working on one piece, one scenario. 31, 13, 31, 75. 13, 31, 13, 57, 57, 75. Electric company, 3 and 5. Electric company here in Quebec. Now we go to 3 and 5 and 5 and 3 to make it a perfect 10, 10. You see, I like to go to 10, and then I like to go to 13, and then I like to go to 16. I wouldn't always do it that way. I would actually go 1, 4, 7. Or I would go 19, I would go 22, and I would go 23. Sorry, did I get this right? No, 25, sorry. 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, and 25. And then I go to 28, 31, and 34. Where do I get these numbers from? 1 and 9 is 10, 2 and 8 is 10, and this would be 37 over here. 37, 46, 37, 40, and 43. But the roulette table ends over here. So there's stories going on. 1 and 3, 4. 2 and 2, 4. 3 and 1, 4. See, when 22 splits the two sides reversed. 25, okay, I don't have a split over here on 34. So I go to 43. So the split comes between 33, 34, and 43. Well, guess what? Hot and cold. 3 plus 15 plus 12 plus 4. 15 and 12. 27, 30, 34. Hot, 43. What does this mean? Well, guess what? It's red hot or it's blue cold. Is it the red pill or is it the blue pill? So it's telling me a secondary story. So we split that over here. We split this one over here. Where do we split this one? We have 37 here. Then we have 46. Then we have 55. And then we have 64. So we split the number 1 at 55 between 46 and 64 where it gets mirrored. Where do we split this one? 31, 40, 49. Oh, we split it over here the first time. 49, 58, 67, 76. Right? Do we get 76? 76 is 7 and 6 is 13, so it gets split right over here. But it doesn't get split on a number. It gets split between the numbers. Here, there's a number in between. And the 22nd president, okay, was Grover Cleveland, and the 24th president was Grover Cleveland. So all these numbers. Now, where do I get 147? I get it right over here. 1 and 1 is 2. 4 and 4 becomes 8. 7 and 7 becomes 5. 7, 7, 7 become 21. 2 and 1 is 3. 4, 4, 4 become 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 1, 1, 1 becomes 3. 2, 2, 2 becomes 6. 5, 5, 5 becomes 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 8, 8, 8 becomes 24. 2 and 4 is 6. Everything comes over here. 3 and 3 is 6. 3, 3, 3 is 9. So everything plays out over here in the 1 section and 2 sections and 3 sections. Then there's the vibration, 2, 3, 4. In the one world, it becomes 8, 7, and 6. And in the deck of cards, the 6 is in the 7 and the 7 is in the 8. So all I need is the 8 to play my 7 and 6. And now I want to get it into the 4 section. So I now have 2, 1, and 0, or 2, 10. All zeros will equal to 6. Why? Because the center key and everything around it, although it's 8, there's either north and south, or there's east and west. There's never both at the same time. I don't know, because the dice cube tells me that story. One is up in the stars and one is online in life. There's probably many more stories in here. If there's anything you'd like to ask me, go ahead. This is why I use 147, because 147 is relevant in everything. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the rotus, opera, tenant, and sator, where the center, right, tells me about 757, Christ on the moon, right? And if we do it this way, right, 4 by 7, 28, and in the center is the energy. 2 and 8 is 10, it becomes 15, energy, moon, and then connected to Mars. This count over here, 25 by 25 is 625. So if I multiply 41 by 625, I end up with this number. This becomes 7, 6, 7, or if I add this one, it becomes 8, 5. 6 and 2 is 8, and then 5. So there's a lot of play with the numbers, but the words actually come from, how can I say it? The words are the words from the dictionary, from games. They're telling me what the answer is. And back to this is the spirit, and this is the cycle, and this is the spirit, and this is the cycle. And this over here, did I get this? 1, 10, 15. Do I have that right? 15, opera. Okay, 1, 10, 19, and 19 at the corners. The spirit, and the energy. It becomes 1, 5, 1. So it's telling me Mars crosses this way, and 7, 5, 7, and the moon crosses this way. If I bring this 1, 5, and then I bring this 7 and 5, this tells me 9 and 7 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7, and then 5. And then this is 1, and this is 9, equaling to 1 and 5, and this is 7 and 5. So through Mars is the moon. And then from here to here, it becomes 1 and 5 becomes 6. So this becomes 7 and 9, because this is the 18th letter. 1 and 8 equals to 9. This is the 16th letter. 1 and 6 equals to 7. Okay? So we add them together as 16. It becomes 7. 7, 5, the moon. And this becomes 1, let's see, let me see that letter again. That's an R, opera. So this one over here becomes 1 and 9 becomes 1. So it becomes 1, 5 Mars. This becomes 7, 9, 7, and 5 moon. Mars, moon, Mars, moon. Then there's another way. We can do it this way. P and R, or we can just make different designs. I'm going to do that in a different video, making different shapes and designs, telling us what these shapes and designs come to words. There's a lot of it's a long video. The other thing I wanted to do right now was this. 7 and 3 is 1, 5 and 5 is 1, the reverse is 66. So it's telling me the half-life. 7 and 3, electric company. If I do this way, I end up with 8 and 3, electric company, gold. So what is it telling me? Gold is pliable, electric company, this becomes the half-life. Then it becomes the freedom of the half-life. Why? Because 1 times 6, 1 plus 6, 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 equals to 55. And if I minus it, it becomes 29, and that becomes your birth. And where did I get my birth from? 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals to 5 equals to 4. 5 times 4 equals to 20. 5 plus 4 equals to 9 equals to 29. And you do it the other way, equals to 11. So this is where I get, and now you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, Earth and Mars, okay, in creation, through the gateway of what I like to call 6 as man. Man equals to numeric value 28. Woman, or WO added onto that, is 38, and you get a total of 66. This becomes 7, and this becomes 5. 8 and 8 is 16. 3 and 2 is 5. It becomes 5 and 7, and the cycle comes through the moon. Raphael, and a lot more words to numbers through games. Thank you for watching this video.